I don't think it's about her last name. It's that they might be shady.
Well, that's what I want to ask you, Chuck. Mika just said something about the Clintons always have these things pop up, and it always goes away. Do you think that's going to happen with the server and with all of this money? Do you think this is going to just be another one of these things where James Carville 2 years from now can say, yeah, sure, she was caught with $800,000 in her back pocket, but come on, this happened with Rose Law Firm, this happened with the server, this happened with, I mean, is this going to be another litany of things that James Carville's going to be talking about 3 years from now? Is this just another Clinton scandal that they survive?
It might. I mean,
what's it feel like to you right now? Is this going to last or not?
What does history show? I think it, but it's having an impact on her, sort of atmospherically. Meaning, look at her numbers on honest and trustworthiness. And I think, look, Bill Clinton was below George H.W. Bush on that question in 1992, and it didn't won anyway. I remember this distinctly. People were like, well, geez, he's lower on the honest and trustworthy, but here he is winning the election. So, but I think in this environment where there's so much distrust in Washington, a lot of it will depend on who the Republicans put up against her. But I think that the impact of these stories on the atmospherics around her and honest and trustworthiness and politics of the past, that's where I think this has a huge impact regardless of the allegations.
Yeah. You know, I just wonder why there aren't other Democrats, and that's why I thought it was the assumption that she will win.
The money.
And the money behind it all. And also, look, I think her qualifications are clearly there. At the same time, I will say, I'm sorry, you can have both questions about this. I think that there are lots of questions about the money. Lots of questions about the, quote, shady dealings. There are no answers. I would like to hear from the White House. Were these approved? What was the deal they cut, and was it abided by? If they did know about some of this money that was received by Bill Clinton or the Clinton Foundation, and if they had known about it, if the Clintons had recorded, and if it's true that they didn't actually follow the regulations and the deal that they cut with the State Department, would the White House have said no?
She's lucky you're not a U.S. attorney.
I don't want to hear from Peter Schweitzer. I don't want to hear from people raising issues. I want to hear from the White House and the State Department as to what went down. And if nothing went down, you all can move on. But we're asking, you know, we're asking the wrong people. The book raises questions. Let's get the answers.
I guess that is a good question. We're way over right now, Chuck, but the White House will say one thing off the record, people in the White House, about how miffed they are that the Clintons played by their own rules. And then when they're on the record, the White House says that. You know they do. Off the record,
I'm not hearing it.
They always talk about how miffed they are. Clintons just played by their own rules. You get them on the record, they don't talk about the scrubbed server, they don't talk about the emails, they don't talk about all of these deals that they didn't approve with the White House. They didn't talk about what Valerie Jarrett and I forget who else inside the White House did this deal with them that they ignored when they wanted to ignore it. And I wonder, when is the White House going to step up and start saying on the record what they say off the record?
You know, I don't know. Why is this burden on the White House and not on the Clintons? I mean, I would say,
well, they're the ones that did the deal.
I do think the burden is on the Clintons here.
I can tell you right now,
well, should they answer the question? You had to deal with your Secretary of State.
Never make a speech and receive money. That would not be approved by the State Department. And he's the ambassador of Sweden. Okay?
If you're normal, you have to play by
Secretary of State.
Rules.
I don't get it. I would like to know. And I would like to ask the White House what happened here. I think they're a part of it, Chuck.
Well, I mean, look, to me, though, that's the part of this that makes it more damning on the Clintons. And this is where I shake my head and don't understand why the Clintons continue to take foreign money. Clearly, the White House was concerned enough that they felt that they had to put something in writing. Now, I agree with you. Let's get it all out there and all that front. But to me, this is a reminder of, like, the White House knew this looked bad. Why in God's earth is the Clinton Foundation, for instance, still taking foreign donations? It just boggles the mind.
It's unbelievable. I was laughing before he answered the question, because he said, we have to ask the White House. And Alex, who's been trying to wrap us for 10 minutes, said, we will. Go to break. Anyway, we got to go to break. Chuck, Todd, thank you so much. Nicole, stay with us. We'll be right back.